Ruslan.
I told you guys a story about when I first came to faith in Jesus. I asked what I should read. Somebody said, hey man, you should read the Gospel of John. I love the Gospel of John. And somebody said, hey, you should do this Proverbs challenge. And so I'm challenging you. Read a chapter of Proverbs every single day. What the date is, read that chapter. Today is September 13th, the 25th anniversary of when my favorite rapper when I was a child passed away, Tupac Shakur. And so we are in Proverbs 13. I'm not going to read the whole chapter to you. I'm just going to read a couple verses. Proverbs 13, verse 6. Righteousness guards the person of integrity, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. One person pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another person pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth. Now check this out. A person's riches may ransom their life, but the poor cannot respond to threatening rebukes. It's this juxtaposition of one person is flaunting and flexing and trying to be an Instagram celebrity, but they really have nothing. And then the other person actually pretends that they're poor, but they actually have great wealth. And then it says, oh, by the way, the richest person, and I think this is saying about the person that's flaunting their wealth, their life may be a ransom because somebody might know and come after you and so on and so forth. But the person who, appears poor, you can't really threaten him with rebukes. So this is, I think, a specific word to a lot of us who are sometimes a little too consumed with luxury, a little too consumed with the finer things in life, a little too consumed with playing the part, right? In music, I come from music. Some of you guys know this. 2015, I went full-time as an independent artist, which was very rare. I've done deals with Interscope, the whole thing. With music, you hear a lot of this. In the entrepreneur space, you hear a lot of this. Fake it till you make it, as if like it's like a MLM thing, right? Like you got to fake it till you make it. You got to look the part. You got to play the role. And what you discover is a lot of the people who look the part, play the part, actually are broke. A lot of people who look like they have money don't really have money. And there's been books made about this. The Millionaire Next Door or the Millionaire Mindset, classic book. And when they study millionaires, people that have $1 million net worth, what they find out is some of the most wealthiest people, there's 15 million millionaires in America, 15 million millionaires in America. Some of the most wealthiest people are the most frugal. Okay, some of the people who drive, some of the people who are worth $1 million drive a 5-7-year-old car. Like that was very common. A lot of them won't pay more than like $30-35 for a haircut. A lot of the women don't get their nails done regularly, right? That there's something connected to how you carry yourself and the energy you put out there and actually being the part. It's like alpha male energy, right? You hear this a lot in the manosphere, like, oh, you beta, right? And you're like, wait. If I'm an alpha, I don't got to tell you I'm an alpha. I'm just an alpha. Like I just am what I am, right? It's like my son who we start play fighting and he starts thinking he's big and bad. And I'm like, fam, I can crush you, little guy. Like you're 6, right? I don't need to remind you every time that I could crush you because it is what it is. And so I think a lot of times we're trying to overcompensate. We're trying to overcompensate for something by flexing. And so what we do is we buy things we don't need to impress people we don't like, and we spend money we don't have, and we stay in the cycle of poverty, while the Proverbs actually say the opposite, right? The Proverbs are telling you, listen, one person pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another person pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth. What are you pretending to have that you don't have? And can you be a bit more focused on the mission in front of you and maybe not overplay your hand? Maybe not act like you are the most flaunting and have the most wealth. There's a lot of things that I could technically afford to do right now that I don't do. And people crack up when they meet me in person and they see me pull up with my 2005 Toyota Prius with the black bumper and the rest of the car is blue because my homie was using the car and crushed it and we, crashed it, the side of it. We had to get a new bumper. We just never got the paint to match because I'm freaking cheap, fam, right? like I could go get a Tesla lease, but is that a good investment? Is that good money? Is that going to attract unnecessary attention on me at this point, right? So I think you have to consider, hey, I'm driving around a paid for car that's whatever, 16, 17 years old, I don't need to play the part because I actually know what my bank account looks like. So these are things to consider as you're building your life. Are you consumed with needing designer clothes? Are you consumed with needing to flex on people? Are you consumed with having this thing where you have to overcompensate about being an alpha, about being rich, about playing the part? Or are you actually living below your means? Because there's the thing about when you live below your means, you can get ahead, you can save, you can pay off debt, right? You can start thinking about investing. You can invest in yourself, which, by the way, that's the best investment I've ever made. People ask me like, what should I invest in? What should I do in terms of investment? Should I get a Robinhood account? And you know what the best investment I made is always in myself. It's always in myself. When my channel started popping off, by the way, we're about to crack 100,000 subscribers on this channel. About a year ago, not even a year ago, about 8 months ago, I had my first real big month on YouTube. YouTube wasn't even a serious revenue stream for me. I had my first real big month on YouTube, and it was, I think, the month of November. I had a Marcus Rogers and a KB interview, and then I did another video, and all those videos went crazy viral. You know what I did? I didn't go put money in Robinhood. I started putting money into my own setup. I got all new computers, all new screens. I got new cameras. I got new bars. I hired Zach. I invested back into myself because that's oftentimes the very best investment you can make. Not into things, not into cars, but into people, into yourself, into your craft, right? Instead of trying to look the part, how about you actually be the part? And then in the process, I also bought some Yeezys and I bought some other stuff and all these different things. By the way, 55% of the people who watch this channel are not subscribed. So if you're finding value from this, hit that subscribe button. 100K, baby. In all these things, I want you guys to look in your own heart and ask your own motivation. When you're trying to buy something nice, when you're trying to look nice, are you doing it because you're genuinely wanting to, like a lot of you guys, man, you work out because you love to work out. You love fitness. You love health. It's awesome. Praise God, right? Respect. But some of you guys are literally working out to attract other people. And that's it. Like you're literally just being insecure and therefore you're trying to overcompensate. No. Work out because you want to work out. Buy that pair of Yeezys because you could afford it and you want to buy that pair of Yeezys. Buy that car, buy that house because you actually want that and you're not trying to flaunt, right? Like if you want to get something designer, get it because you actually want it, not because you're trying to flex on somebody else, right? And a lot of times, know that most of these things that are going to make you feel good in the moment aren't going to sustain that feeling of feeling good. And most of them are liabilities and not investments. The investments are going to come into what you invest in yourself. Invest in yourself properly, you'll always get a good ROI. If you invest into things, usually things depreciate in value. Assets appreciate in value. Invest in yourself, you'll always appreciate in value. Invest in the market, invest into people, invest in the property. Usually it's going to appreciate in value. It's going to grow in value. Investing in the materialistic things usually are going to depreciate in value. So don't try to play the part. Really become that thing. And then from that, consistently invest in yourself. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know what y'all think.
King's Dream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Yo, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you found it valuable, considering giving it a like and subscribing. This month, I'm releasing the Love What You Do collection. And to celebrate, I'm doing a 3-day virtual event to help us go from learning to love what we do to ultimately doing what we love. By the way, it's free, so hit the link in the description to grab your seat today.